welcome to my video. I just thought I would go through all the books I've read recently and talk, but I've had absolutely no planning for this video. I literally just decided to film it then. So I actually can't remember what I've read, which maybe is a review in itself of the books, but yeah, I just thought, because I did one of these for January and February, but then I never did another one. I thought I would just do like March, April, May, kind of quick fire, but then again I do waffle a lot. I'm not sure if I spoke about this in the last one, but who cares. So I read Wild Dark Shore, which finished in March. I don't really have much of an opinion on this book because I think it's a good book, it's just not really for me. It was just very slow and I didn't really get the hype on it because it was so descriptive, but that just made me bored. I wanted more mystery and less descriptions of nature and stuff, which I know some people appreciate, but yeah, I think for someone it could be good, but I did kind of find it boring and I wasn't very gripped by it, which is a sign in itself. But yeah, well written. I gave it a 3.5, but now I'd probably just say it was a 3. Next one, In Her Own League. Loved it so much, which I absolutely love basically all her books. Didn't really rewind it back by her, but that's about the only one I didn't like, and that was only because I don't like the trope of second chance romance. So yeah, very quite her typical books. I'm finding now I absolutely love Liz, Tom Ford and Elsie Silver, but I am finding that they can be very repetitive because they are just focused on either country cowboys in Elsie Silver's case and hockey in Liz Tom Ford's case. So yeah, I just finding them now a bit over, I'm overdosing a bit. However, I will still read everything that they put out. Nothing to write home about, I'd say. She does write love stories very well, Liz Tom Ford. Romance is my favourite genre and she is probably my favourite romance author, so therefore probably my favourite author. But yeah, I think she writes love very much, I believe it every time, which is most of the time what the problem is with romances when I don't rate them highly. It's just because I'm just this is so shallow. However, it is still quite formulaic and nothing will ever compare to The Right Move for me. Carrie Soto Is Back. Oh, this was a good one. It's not my favourite Taylor Jenkins Reid book, and her books I am not this is a very negative thing, but I'm just being real. I have not had the best reading year. Carrie Soto Is Back, it's probably a 3.5 star book. Very well written, good for what it is, but nothing to write home about. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because I'm not interested in tennis, and so yeah, I think it's just that genre isn't what I'm most interested. I even didn't really care about Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which is her pièce de résistance. So yeah, take what I say with a grain of salt because someone could like it, but I don't know what it is that I just don't have much of an interest in that type of stuff. So then I just kind of zone out. But I did like Daisy Jones and the Six by her and Malibu Rising. Malibu Rising was amazing. I think that's her best book, even though it's not her most famous. Then we started The Journey of a Lifetime. So I just thought, I'll read Assassin's Blade and just see how it goes. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as everyone else because I'm not a big fantasy reader and I need romance in my fantasy to keep me going, and I knew that it was more fantasy led, so I thought, right, I'm prepared to be a bit disappointed considering all the hype that it has. No, you don't need to you don't need to. I thoroughly recommend starting with Assassin's Blade, but basically I just read that and then one thing I've never done is binged a series back to back. Well, I still haven't finished it. I'm not read Kingdom of Ash yet, but I've binged that entire thing, and honestly the first 5 books in that series, all 5 stars. I feel like this is quite an unpopular thing, but it's actually the second half I've slowed down with because it's getting a lot more political, and so I zone out when I read about like politics and stuff. So yeah, but if you think it's going to be difficult to follow, don't. It is so easy to follow. The first 5 books are so easy to follow. Then it starts to amp up a bit when you get into the tandem read, which is what I struggled with. I struggled so much with the tandem read because it's so long. It's very long and not like the most interesting in my opinion. And also another unpopular opinion is I prefer Tower of Dawn, but compared to Empire of Storms on the tandem read, and that's because that one has way more romance and I need romance to keep going. So I'm still like, now I've taken a break. I knew this would be a big mistake, taking a break, because then I'm now like quite like nervous about reading the last one in case it doesn't live up to the hype, etc, etc. But I do need to get on with it because I know I probably will enjoy it when I'm in it, but it's just so huge and I'm just like, oh, I'm already so behind with my reading. Like Kingdom of Ash is just going to take me even more behind. But yeah, I will read it at some point because I do need to finish off my collection. So yeah, so I love basically 5 stars for the whole series until the final 2, which are like 4 stars. Because they took me 3 to 5 working years to finish. But yeah, I don't know if I said I would start with Assassin's Blade if you're like me and you're not the sharpest tool in the shed, or you enjoy feeling joy, because I actually think it would be really like jarring if you read the first 3 or whatever. I don't know how many you're supposed to read before you read Assassin's Creed, but that will be very jarring because you get in the flow of the story and then you've got to go back. I just don't really see how you can benefit from it, but each to their own. But yeah, it's a no-brainer. Okay, I've moved to the other side of the house because that lighting was very annoying. Okay, so yeah, I love that. Love that all very much so. Then, after reading all of that, was in a bit of a slump by the end of the tandem read because just like was overdosing on the story and I needed to read about different people, different settings. I read Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. I actually really enjoyed this and I liked all the discussions in it and stuff, and it is like very heavy. Do not like look at the cover. Don't look at this and think, yes, smutty sports romance. Don't look at that and think that, because it's not. It's very traumatic. And yeah, it was actually really entertaining, but it wasn't my favourite romance ever because I felt like it was like trauma that she was going through, the main character. And then it all got resolved in like a few pages, and then I was just like, wow, like the whole book is her just like going through all of this, and then 2 seconds later it's fine. But I don't know, maybe that's just like the way I read it. But yeah, and that just kind of took me out of the story a bit. I just feel like the pacing was off slightly. Other than that, it's really good, and I think it would do a lot of good in the world if people read this, because I don't want to spoil it, but yeah. Okay, next book, The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. No bueno. It was alright. I'm being dramatic. It was fine, but corny as hell, like so corny. So it was it gives like, her books just give like slasher movie vibes where they're like a kind of a joke because they're just like stupid and ridiculous. And this was exactly that. So it was quick to read. I read it because I was in a slump and I needed to get out ASAP, which I didn't succeed in. So maybe that's your answer. I read it to try and get her out of a slump and it didn't work. So that's all you really need to know. 3 stars. And also I've written here, the main character had the survival instincts of a goldfish. True. She was so dumb. So yeah, That wasn't my fave. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Obviously the boyfriend didn't work getting me out of a slump. So then I read The Naturals, which I thought, oh, YA like mystery. Quite good. Become much better than the Inheritance Games, which I DNF'd that series because it was too YA. And that's my only critique with this one. Like, I actually probably would continue the series, but I don't remember, like, I don't even remember a thing about the mystery. I remember it got revealed at the end, but it was just so quick because it's a tiny book anyway, and then the whole book is her building up relationships with all the characters because it's a series and she wants you to connect with the characters. But I'm like, I don't really care about who fancies who in this stupid thing, in this stupid organisation that they've got, which would never happen in real life. All I care about is figuring out the mystery and adding more suspense. So, and maybe I'd continue the series, perhaps, but yeah, it is very YA, like, the writing and stuff is a bit cringy. But as you can expect with a YA, like, I don't know why I'm saying, oh, it's too YA. Well, there's a reason for that. It's not written for me, so. Yeah, I probably should have taken that one with a grain of salt, or whatever the phrase is. Careless People, okay, we're amping up a bit here. Careless People by Sarah Wynne Williams, which is a memoir about a woman's time working at Facebook. She worked there for years, and she worked there right when the company started to grow, and she saw all the rapid growth of everything, and just she really, like, nothing is spared. Like, she names and shames everyone, and it's so entertaining because it's written in a, it's not written in a boring way. It reads like a fiction. It's funny. It's quite funny at times, and then it's just shocking. Like, you can't really put it down because it's so mad. So yeah, I'd really recommend that. Careless People, if you're interested in all the dodgy shit that goes on behind the scenes within Meta, who owns Facebook, Instagram. King of Wrath. Oh, I had DNF this one. It was awful. Can you tell I've had quite a sad reading year when I've had one good book out of the fucking millions. Oh, and I also read Throne of Glass. But like, yeah, that's like now got a sour taste in my mouth because of the fucking slump it put me in. Even though I loved the first 5 books so much and they were all 5 stars. And that's not even me just putting 5 stars for no reason, like, they were addictive. King of Wrath, yeah, DNF. Read it because I was in a slump, can you tell? And I thought, oh, slutty short romance. So shallow, no chemistry between characters really, like, other than just like, oh, like, it's just so far-fetched that it's actually just insane. And I don't really mind actually I do. I do mind a lot when books are far-fetched, when they wouldn't happen in real life. I know that it's about what a romance should be, but basically, the premise is, it's an arranged marriage between her and this billionaire, and he is like, I don't know, she's just like a random girl, and he's basically to marry her. And then, like, there's just instantly they fancy each other, and I'm like, what? Have I missed a chapter? Because where is the easing into this? Like, where's the yearning? It's just constantly. And also, one thing about romances that annoys me is when they're dual POV and you get to hear what the man thinks too. I would rather it just be the girl thinking, because then it's like more of like a mystery, and like her describing the way he behaves and stuff is way more like intriguing than him just being like, oh, like Vivian, like, is so fucking like gorgeous, like, what's going on in my head? And I'm like, I don't want to know, because then it ruins it when it's on page 50 and you're already wanting to shag her, which in real life, the thing is, in real life you wouldn't get in an arranged marriage with a billionaire, but I don't mind that. But it would take him, bearing in mind he's like cold-hearted billionaire, it would take him years to crack, realistically. There's a reason that he's like a dangerous billionaire. It's because he's like so private. And 2 seconds later he's bloody with her, and it makes even less sense when you know why they're in a forbidden marriage, because it would put him off even more. I know Anna Hang's books are very far-fetched, but I just felt like it was the most insta-love thing ever, and it was just annoying me. Okay, and then, right, rant over. And then the last one, Fever Dream by Elsie Silver, which came out recently. Again, just okay. Like, nowhere near as bad as King of Wrath. It wasn't bad, it was a 3-star bully. Elsie, I expect better from you. Because I absolutely love Wild Love by her, which is just a 5-star. Like, I was crying at that, it was just so emotional and amazing. But yeah, I just feel like, same with Liz Tom Ford, like, they're just going down the pan a bit, like, because they're just the same old replica of a story, but with different characters, who all act the same anyway. I also, yeah, it was insta-love with that one as well. I just don't really like insta-love, and it puts me off romances when they're, like, instantly like each other. Like, I'd rather than be horrible to each other, rude to each other for ages. Don't mind that. Like, I really don't mind that, as long as they're not, like, abusing each other. But, like, if they don't like each other, I'm happy to sit and wait for crumbs of nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I do not mind it if I don't find romance for, like, there's no romance for, like, pages and pages and pages. Like, when I read All Roads Lead Here, who is by Marion Assad, which people say is the queen of slow burn. Well, I've only read that book by her, but that was major crumbing, that was. But it just paid off. It paid off because then it's like, when's he gonna crack? When's he gonna crack? Or whatever. Well, in All Roads Lead Here, it was like, when's he gonna crack? Because he was so, like, quiet and unfriendly. And I just love that. Okay, so yeah, Fever Dream, it was like, alright. Some people would like it as a quick, brainless read. However, it's probably one of my least favourite ones by her I've read, which is really sad to say. And maybe it is because I am in a slump. Maybe there's a reason I'm not enjoying them that much, and if I was in like a proper good reading mood, I'd probably enjoy them a bit more, but I still think if it was going to be amazing, I would love it regardless. Like, when I read The Right Move, I was in the worst slump of my life. And that is a 6-star read, so yeah, I think surely. Oh, and then the book I'm reading at the moment, which I'm sure you're all waiting with bated breath, trying to figure out what it is. The Da Vinci Code. Oh my god, it's so good. It's like proper unput. Like, when they say unputdownable, this is like the bloody final boss of unputdownable books. The first 100 pages were like quite slow, and then since like yesterday I've read over like the 100-page mark. So if you read it and you 100 pages and you're like, it's not like that gripping, oh, just you wait. They're setting the scene, they're laying the foundations, and it's about to hit like a ton of bricks. And yeah, loved it so much. So I mean, I don't know why I said loved it, I'm only 100 and something pages in, but it's really like the codes and stuff, and yeah, would really recommend that one. I loved it. So that's all the books I've read recently. I know I've not read a lot, and we're fighting this together. I'm fighting a battle between me and books. Like, I'm trying so hard to enjoy them, and it is a big battle, but yeah, you conquer. That's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. In a few months I'll probably do another one, and hopefully by that point I'll be back in my reading grind, loving every second of it. And thank you so much for watching if anyone did.